Hello and welcome to Channel Sport this morning. It's great to have you join us again. I am Tayo Salam. This is what the show looks like. Yes, we've got news coming for you from Cameroon. The AFCON draw. The Super Eagles of Nigeria are in the same group with the PHARAOHS of Egypt. That's in Group D for the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations. Also on the show, one of the players Nigeria will likely depend on for the AFCON, Samuel Kalu, he's been cleared to return to training after examination on his heart came back all clear. Recall Kalu collapsed on the pitch during Bordeaux's match against Marseille on Sunday in the French Ligue 1. Also on the program, the World Athletics Under-20 Championships is underway in Nairobi, Kenya. And we already have 3 Nigerians in the semifinals of the 100 meters for men and women. Stick with us for all of those details and more on Channel Sports this morning. Still flying solo, but I've got my guy with me, Demola Ogunbono. He's going to join me on this amazing trip around the world of sports. Demola, it's great to have you on the show.
Good morning, Tayo, and good morning to our viewers. It's good to be back on the show again. You know, last week I'm sure we had fun. So sports again today, so it's glad to be here, and let's have some fun. Of course.
Fun, sports is always exciting, it's always fun, and that's exactly what we intend to do on the program today. Let's dive straight into it and go to Nairobi, Kenya. To be precise, the More International Stadium in Kasarani, where Team Nigeria have started their campaign for medals already. I'm going to give you that update. So pictures are coming from the Kasarani Stadium in Nairobi, Kenya, where the world's future under-20 track and field stars are slugging it out for... Hello and welcome to Channel Sport this morning. It's great to have you join us again. I am Tayo Salam. This is what the show looks like. Yes, we've got news coming for you from Cameroon. The AFCON draw. The Super Eagles of Nigeria are in the same group with the PHARAOHS of Egypt. That's in Group D for the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations. Also on the show, one of the players Nigeria will likely depend on for the AFCON, Samuel Kalu, he's been cleared to return to training after examination on his heart came back all clear. Recall Kalu collapsed on the pitch during Bordeaux's match against Marseille on Sunday in the French Ligue 1. Also on the program, the World Athletics Under-20 Championships is underway in Nairobi, Kenya. And we already have 3 Nigerians in the semifinals of the 100 meters for men and women. Stick with us for all of those details and more on Channel Sports this morning. Still flying solo, but I've got my guy with me, Demola Ogunbono. He's going to join me on this amazing trip around the world of sports. Demola, it's great to have you on the show.
Good morning, Tayo, and good morning to our viewers. It's good to be back on the show again. You know, last week I'm sure we had fun. So sports again today, so it's glad to be here, and let's have some fun. Of course.
Fun, sports is always exciting, it's always fun, and that's exactly what we intend to do on the program today. Let's dive straight into it and go to Nairobi, Kenya. To be precise, the More International Stadium in Kasarani, where Team Nigeria have started their campaign for medals already. I'm going to give you that update. So pictures are coming from the Kasarani Stadium in Nairobi, Kenya, where the world's future under-20 track and field stars are slugging it out for gold, silver, and bronze. And that includes Team Nigeria as well. I'm going to give you the updates quickly coming from the country, starting with Praise Ofoku. She won the Heat 2 in a time of 11.65 seconds to qualify for the semifinals of the women's 100 meters. Also qualifying for the semifinals is Tima God Bless. She came second in Heat 3 in a time of 11.59 seconds to advance into the semifinals. Let's go over to the guys now and see what they're up to. Godson Brume, one of the fastest under-20 sprinter in the world. He's managed to get into the semifinals as well in a time of 10.35 seconds. He won Heat 1. PHARAOHS, unfortunately, one of the fastest as well to coming into these competitions, under 20. I don't know what's happened there. That is a bit of a shocker. He came 7th in E2 in a time of 11 seconds flat. Obviously, that's not going to be enough to take him into the next round. Nigeria will still, the semi-finals will go down later this evening. And of course, join us on the show tomorrow for all of the updates concerning us, Nigeria's future track and field stars. Quickly, Demola, under 20 championships. This is that level where you start to show your potential that you might just go on to be a big star at the senior stage.
Absolutely, Tayo. I mean, for Godson Brume, like you mentioned now, running 10.35, I think it's brilliant.
Yeah. Awesome.
For PHARAOHS as well, 11.5 seconds. Not too bad, but wasn't enough to see him through.
No.
For the likes of yes. For the like of Adekalu Fakorede, he didn't make it through as well. Udodi as well. And these are the guys who will do the 4x100 meters for us. We stand a good chance in that. I think we'll do very well. It will be, if we get to be on the podium, it will be the first time since 1992 where we actually won bronze medal then. So I think in the 100 meters, we stand a good chance with Godson. I think he's really, really
Godson
good.
Godson is in great shape. He's coming to this competition, like I said, one of the fastest in the 100 meters for his age. So all eyes will definitely be on him to perhaps get on the podium for the country. Perhaps he can follow in the footsteps of the likes of Deji Aliu and the likes, and Francis Obikwelu as well. So Godson Brume, of course, that name sounds familiar. That's because from the famous Brume family has got Ese, Olympic bronze medalist and world championship bronze medalist as well. Now has got a younger sibling, trying to follow in her footsteps as well. No pressure whatsoever, right?
No pressure whatsoever.
Of course there's pressure, trust me.
He has a name to meet up to, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. So we wish Team Nigeria all the best as they continue their hunt for medals at the World Under-20 Athletics Championships going on at the Kasarani Stadium in Nairobi, Kenya. Let's leave the track and field now. Let's come back to the court, to the NBA court. We have a very interesting story coming from the NBA concerning Cameroon center Joel Embiid. The story is the Philadelphia 76ers have signed him to a 4-year, $196 million Supermax contract extension. The Sixers announced the deal on Tuesday morning. The extension keeps Embiid on the contract with the Sixers through the 2026 to 2027 season for a total of $261 million. Embiid, interestingly, represented himself during the negotiations. He became eligible for Supermax extension this summer after finishing second in MVP voting and making the All-NBA second team with averages of 28.5 points and 10.6 rebounds and 51 regular season games for the just concluded season. Embiid is 27 years old now, so he's in his prime. Has spent his entire career with the 76ers since being drafted number 3 overall pick in 2014, posting career averages of 24.8 points, 11.3 rebounds, while leading Philly to the playoffs in each of the last 4 seasons. Well-deserved, you'd say.
Well-deserved. I mean, the breakdown of the deal.
Let's go.
For the 2021-22 season, $31.58 million.
Wow.
For 2022-23 season, $33.62 million. For the 2023-24 season, for the $3.73 million.
Wow.
And for the 24-25 season, for the $7.23 million. Well earned for the 7 feet, 280-pound, massive player. On both ends of the court, is massive. His offensive play, his three-point shooting has improved. His two-point shooting as well in the perimeter is very good. It's very strong. And the last NBA game he played, against the Hawks, they try to throw their big guys onto him, but he's way bigger than they are. Massive player. And for this kind of deal, I think it can only come good for the 76ers. You know, he has Ben Simmons, you know, who is like a Robin to his own Batman.
Yeah,
there's talk about, you know, him being traded.
Yeah.
If that happens, we're all well and good. But I think they need to get more guys that are dominant that can help him, because there seems to be, of course, there's a star man. You know, in the team, he's been playing incredibly well. But if they can get more guys around him, you know, that can, you know, really push them up to see if they can get, because I think ever since Iverson, that was when that was when they won a championship last, you know. So Iverson was a massive player. I mean,
they didn't get over the line. Eventually, but Iverson with the 76ers, then Iverson put them on the map, you know, against all of these traditional powerhouses in the NBA.
And that is what they're hoping to get with Joel Embiid as well. You know, so it's been brilliant. It's been good. If not for the fact that he missed some games, you know, I think 51 of 72 games last season. He was a shoo-in for the MVP, but that man again, Nikola Jokic, was very impressive, you know, so well deserved. But him coming, you know, second runners-up as MVP, good one for him. But going into the new season now, I think yes, it will be a force to reckon with. What he just need to do is get, you know, good enough guys to be around him.
Cast.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and they'll do just fine.
You mentioned Ben Simmons the other time. Future not very certain at the moment.
At the moment, yes.
Talks about being traded. He didn't play particularly well in the playoffs. A lot of people actually blamed Ben Simmons, which could be a bit unfair, but it is what it is for their playoffs exits for the 76ers. But it's good to know that Joel Embiid is not going anywhere. This is where he's likely to end his career. Of course, he's 27 years old now and has signed a new deal for 4 years worth $196 million. Supermax extension. Joel Embiid, safe to say you've secured the bag. Right. Okay, let's leave the basketball courts now. Let's go to still on the basketball courts, but on the home front. Stories emerged yesterday that the Tigers associate head coach Alex Nwora has resigned from his position after the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. No reasons was given. And, of course, we had to wait for the NBBF to come out and, you know, either confirm or deny this report that emanated yesterday. And that's exactly what the president, Musa Kida, is attempting to do in this particular situation. We're going to take a listen to Ahmed Musa Kida trying to explain the future of Alex Nwora in the D-Tigers setup.
There is Coach Alex Nwora, though, who, you know, in recent times has had a few challenges, you know, on the home front by way of health, you know, who has also expressed that he wants to actually be more present in his job, you know, the college team that of which is his coach, you know, and so on and so forth. So Alex, you know, would be somebody who will be doing a touch and go. Coach Udofia is there full time, and so on and so forth. So everybody is there. Everybody is going to be made available when they can for them to still be on my team's bandwagon. But I do have full confidence in that.
Musa Kida attempting to clarify the position and the future of Alex Nwora in the D-Tigers setup. Reporter yesterday, the past 48 hours actually, saying he's now quit his role as the associate head coach of Nigeria's men's national basketball team. And good enough, Rotimi Akindele joins us now. Rotimi is, of course, a basketball buff, and I'll be getting his reaction to everything he just heard the president say a few seconds ago. Rotimi, good morning. It's great to have you on the show.
Good morning, guys. Good to be here.
Yeah, better late than never, right?
Yeah, sure.
Anyways, let's just let's dive straight into it.
Into that, right?
Yeah, into that one. I mean, look at the time.
I don't think he's explained anything, to be honest. I don't think so. I mean,
what has he said?
Nothing. With all due respect.
Okay.
You haven't cleared anything.
Nothing is clear.
The report says he dropped his resignation 6th of August.
Yeah.
What has happened between then and now? Okay. And then if you're putting out a video to clarify in quotes.
In quotes.
What have you done? You haven't said anything.
You said it's touch and go.
Exactly.
You know what touch and go means, right?
Yeah, well,
certainty.
of course, in that parlance, we know what it means. And then, just to add, the guy that was, or the coach in charge of Patriots Basketball Club during the BAL, that's Alan Major, has put out a tweet that he's going to team up with the Nigerian team.
There you go.
For the Afro basket. And so I think he's already on his way to Africa or on his way to Rwanda. So that means there's something in the offing.
Yeah.
If Alan Major is coming in, is he going to come in and work with Mike Brown and Alex Nwora? So something is definitely cooking.
Which wasn't clarified in that meeting.
But he didn't do anything. So we'll wait. Fingers crossed, really. By the time I think they're just trying to, what's that word we use? Don't worry. We'll just wait. Let's just wait.
I mean, you as well, you listen.
Yeah, I had.
Nothing really clarified.
It baffles me that, you know, this is coming up when the AfroBasket kicks off. You know, August 24th.
Next week.
Next week. And we hear that the camp has already opened in Auckland.
Yeah.
Yesterday. This coming up, I hope it will, you know, not in any way affect the preparations, you know, of the team. So we'll see what comes out of, you know, all this.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I think we should just move on. And because I was hoping to hear, you know, serious clarity on all of this, but that has actually
and you know it's funny when you put out such
videos and statements.
Videos or statements.
There's no clarity still.
At this level, come on,
guys, you can do better. The NBBF. Anyways, we keep monitoring the situation. The good thing is time always tells. When the AfroBasket starts in next week, we get to see who's and who's not a part of the T-Tigers setup.
Yes, to go.
Yeah. Thereabout, less than a week. We'll see. Yeah, well, we're told the camp is opened in Auckland. I've seen pictures, but officially we haven't seen any list. Or have you seen?
We haven't seen.
That's what we don't get embarrassed.
I think we'll do just fine. Yeah, the list is not out.
Because they're foreign.
Well, they'll be meeting up in Auckland, and that's where most of the foreign-based players are. They'll get to meet up. Put a few.
Are there issues, public protocols following Rwanda? They're supposed to go in there.
All right. Let's move on with the show now. Let's talk a bit of volleyball, and give you updates concerning the Nigeria Under-19 volleyball teams preparing for the World Championships ahead of the departure for the International Volleyball World Tournaments in Iran and Mexico in August and September. Nigeria's Under-18 and Under-19 teams have assured to represent the country and indeed Africa well at the championship. The teams have been camping at the Ahmadu Bello Stadium in Kaduna ahead of the tournaments. Nigeria's leading volleyball ranking in Africa. Nigeria leads volleyball ranking in Africa alongside Egypt, followed by Cameroon. The players and officials are in high spirits and hope to sustain the tempo and take on the world when the tournament starts next month. So that's the updates coming from the Nigeria handball teams as they get ready for the volleyball championship. Let's listen to what they have to say ahead of that tournament.
We are very, very prepared for this World Championship. We were able to defend the title in Abuja, the African Nations Cup. So we are topping Africa, and I want to assure Nigerians that we are pretty ready to represent Africa in the World Championship. There is no pressure that we didn't receive during our competition in Abuja, the African Nations Cup. We played against other countries, and we were almost losing our first match against Cameroon. It was from 2-0 down. We were able to ginger ourselves and come back to win the the game by 3-2. So we are very ready, we are prepared. We know tension will surely come, but with our own preparation, we'll be able to withstand the pressure, whatsoever pressure that will come from our opponent.
Last 2 years we had the World Championship in Tunisia. Now we are going to Iran for the same World Championship. The last one we placed 14th in the world, and we hope to improve in our own last position. We had an early preparation for the past 2 months we have been in camp, and now the camp is almost over. But I think the preparation, everything has been beautiful.
They are well prepared. I'm really happy with the players and the coaches. They have done their best irrespective of the current situation they are in, but we thank God very much. They've been very cooperative and we appreciate God. We still need helpers. We still need people to come and assist us. We still need people to come and contribute so that on this trip of these players, we cannot do it alone.
There you go, Nigeria getting ready for the under-18 or under-19 World Volleyball Championships in Iran and Mexico. Guys, volleyball not doing badly. I mean, when they start to go for these major competitions, then it's a sign that they're doing something right. It
is, absolutely. I mean, we're number one in Africa.
Yeah.
You know, Egypt and Cameroon behind us. If that can be the case in our football too, I think that would be really nice. But it's not the case at the minute. So I'm sure with preparations going on and you know, the guys putting all their best foot forward, I can only, you know, hope and wish them the best, you know, come the competition proper.
All right. Wrote something quickly before we go on a break.
Looking good. I mean, just to also mention that the national teams, the senior teams,
right?
Male and female, 54 of them in total have also been invited to camp in Kaduna of the Nations Cup.
Right.
Of course, that's in Rwanda sometimes next month. So looks like the program is going on as planned for the Volleyball Federation. So let's just wish them all the very best. Really.
Yes, all the best to our national volleyball teams on the 18, on the 19, and the senior teams as well, so as they get ready for their various competitions. We need to go on a break. As the first break, I will come back. We'll be breaking down the AFCON draw for the 2021 competition. Join us again. Welcome back to Channel Sport this morning. Time to tell you about Nigeria's opponents for the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations in Cameroon. Of course, the draw was done yesterday, and I actually picked 2 teams in particular. And I don't know if I can go on and you know, brag a bit that those 2 teams actually ended up in Nigeria's group. I'm not going to do that. The draw was conducted yesterday in Cameroon by CAF Director of Competition, Samson Adamu, of course, was heavily involved with the Copa Lagos all those years ago. So it's good to see a Nigerian in that position with CAF. Of course, these are the groups now. Group A has got Cameroon, the host. There's also Burkina Faso, Ethiopia, and Cape Verde. In Group B is Senegal, Zimbabwe, Guinea, and Malawi, while in Group C is Morocco, Ghana, Comoros, and Gabon. Group D, where Nigeria is, has Egypt, Sudan, and Guinea-Bissau. Group E, some people are calling the group of death. There's Algeria, Sierra Leone, Equatorial Guinea, and Cote d'Ivoire. Last but not the least is Group F, Tunisia, Mali, Mauritania, and Gambia. The Africa Cup of Nations, Cameroon 2021, will take place from January 9th to February the 6th. The opening match is going to be between 5-time Africa Cup Nations winners, Cameroon, the host nation, and Burkina Faso, runners-up of the 2023 competition. Guys, let's dive straight into it. Of course, let's start with Nigeria's Group D. Well, what do you make of that draw?
There was the possibility of Nigeria, you know, meeting Egypt, 7 times African champions, you know, because we're in pot 1, alongside the host, Cameroon, winners of last edition, Algeria, and of course the seedings, because Nigeria is 5th in Africa now, Senegal is number 1, Tunisia number 2, Algeria number 3, Morocco number 4. We're all in pot 1. So there was always that possibility of Nigeria meeting, you know, Egypt, you know, and the likes.
Ghana, likes,
you know. But finding ourselves in a group, we find ourselves now in Group D, Egypt, Sudan, Guinea-Bissau. I think we'll fancy our chances there.
Surely.
There are no minnows in African football anymore. I think Sierra Leone, you know, the last qualifiers now will be an eye-opener for us and a wake-up call. That we need to put our best foot forward all the time. But then in this group, I think, yes, we should fancy our chances.
Oh, well,
obviously.
Yeah, so if you're looking at all the groups, really, apart from Group A and maybe a bit of C, just maybe. Group D looks pretty tough. And it's very simple. So you have Nigeria, you've got another powerhouse in Egypt.
Right.
You've got guys that could shake the table in Sudan, who actually defeated Ghana and South Africa en route qualifying for this. And then you have, I mean, with all due respect, it's not like they're bad, but they qualified for the Nations Cup the last time, Guinea-Bissau. Now they are back again, so it means they're doing something right. I'm not trying to create any sort of tension, but it's not going to be a walk in the park for the big teams. And this is referring to Nigeria and Egypt. Sudan, I think, can be a potential banana skin, like we always know. And then, but it's logistics will also come into play. Garoua, the venue that had been chosen, is in the northern part of Cameroon, surprisingly. So and I was talking to some friends this morning in Cameroon, like, hey guys, Garoua, how friendly is the connection to that place? It takes you about 15 hours from Yaoundé to Garoua. Wow. If you're coming from Douala, it's even more. In that type of road transportation now. I think if you can manage to get flights, maybe. Of course, that'll be the priority for the Eagles and every other thing. But it's going to be tough connecting. And then if all of these things come into play, really, we must be on top of our game as far as operations and logistics is concerned for us to be able to. I think we'll qualify from the group. I don't think it will be that, but it's a 24 nations tournament. Like we always say, local balance, last. Even if it's best loser, we'll qualify from the group. It's not easy, but it's not going to be as easy as some folks are painting it.
I like the angle you've gone in the last couple of minutes. Logistics are very important. The weather as well, too, will be very key as well. Preparations as well. And, of course, the coach, Nwora, has been reacting. Interestingly, he's being cautiously optimistic, which I think is the right way to go about it. There's no point getting too confident and transmitting that to your players. So, I think I want to agree that Nigeria should qualify from this group. But for you, I know it's still a long way to go. What would be a target for the country for this competition? A lot of people I have spoken to are saying it's gold or nothing.
Well, it's going to be tough, really. The target, yes, I would love to see Nigeria in the final. Whatever happens in the final,
you take it.
I'll take. But I think the target for us, based on the pressure, the story around Raw and how long he's spent and what he seems to be doing right or not doing right, I think it will be fair if I request that Nigeria gets into the final. At the very least. At the very least, really.
Interesting. So that's our on second there. Demola, I'll come to you. That's Super Eagles are scheduled for you for the competition, the group stage. Against Egypt is going to be on January the 11th, while against Sudan it's going to be January the 15th. The last game against Guinea-Bissau is on the 19th. So perhaps it looks like Nigeria might go into that last game still needing points to qualify based on the first two games. Sudan, we see Egypt first and Sudan, we see their teams on the continent. They're very difficult to beat, and we know a large chunk of their side come from their local league.
I think when it comes to tournament proper, I think, yes, Nigeria, we're going to do just fine. The only qualifiers, of course, Sudan they did very well. Bearing in mind that, yes, it's home and away, their home support and all that. But I think when it comes to competition proper, I think we should have our A game on. I think Nigeria will do just fine. I think we'll qualify from the group. It's going to be tough. Like I mentioned yesterday on the radio program I was on, I was being asked the same question you're asking me now. And I think, yes, we'll be in the finals. Anything in the finals now will be a given. If we get to win it, all well and good. But I think with the caliber of players we have, some of our guys are playing in you know, some of the top leagues, you know, in the world. So I expect that they'll bring that you know,
the experience to bear.
One key thing for winning tournaments, especially considering African Nations Cup, has got to be team bond and that uniformity. We saw that with the Algerians in 2019.
Yeah, in Egypt.
They weren't really playing spectacularly, but they were just, you could see the cohesion, you know, from the Foxes. And that was what earned them that title in 2019.
True.
If any team is going to do that this time around again, you've got to have all of that. So I think what Raw will be working on is, it will be wrong going to that tournament and saying we still have a young team, we still have a team that is trying to gel and all of that. So I mean, we need to see that cohesion starting with the qualifiers from next month.
Yeah, go
into that Nations Cup and let's see what happens. But the very least is get into the final. Yes, there are other teams that also wants to get into the final. You have Algeria, the defending champion. By the way, their group is in no way a group of death. Because, with due respect, it's Sierra Leone, it's Equatorial Guinea. Come on, it's just Cote d'Ivoire.
Well, yes.
It's nothing. The two big teams there, I expect, qualify. So, but I'm still looking at a team that has a group that even Cameroon, the host, have a tough one on paper because you've got Cameroon. They've not really been big on the African scene lately. They've got Burkina Faso, they've got Ethiopia, and then they've got Cape Verde. So it's pretty tough for the Cameroonians. It's not going to just be a walk in the park or a stroll in the park for them. Absolutely. And then you have Morocco, Ghana, who have been friends recently. They usually pop up meeting each other. Comoros and Gabon. Gabon is a big factor in this group. Why? Because of the kind of players they have. So you've got an Aubameyang. If he gets to find the scoring boots in Cameroon, that could propel the Gabonese to doing something at the Nations Cup. So there's a whole lot of things that can also say we can tip as favorites. But from our own end here, we are hoping that everything works well and then Nigeria gets to the final, at least in Cameroon.
Yeah.
What you mentioned, Comoros, I think this is the first time of qualifying for the AFCON. They finished 9 points behind Egypt. Just looking to see how they will perform in competition proper, being the first time in the AFCON.
Comoros is a tiny island, and them making it to the AFCON is already a major deal. We're seeing pictures of the venue for the final. Hopefully, like my guys have said in the studio, Nigeria should be one of the teams that are playing on this very tough come the final of the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations. Right, guys?
290 million being spent on the stadium itself?
Yeah.
Wow. That's huge.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. But then we know hosting major tournaments is very capital intensive, and I'm sure the Cameroonian authorities are well prepared for all of this. Let's move on now to a player who's likely to be a part of Team Nigeria to the AFCON. He was at the last Nations Cup in Egypt 2 years ago. Samuel Kalu was involved in a very scary situation over the weekend in the French League where he collapsed unchallenged and, scared everyone to bits. But thankfully, the story coming out of France this morning is now being cleared, given a clean bill of health to return to training, and is actually going to be in contention for Bordeaux's match later this weekend. We're seeing pictures from that very scary episode involving Samuel Kalu collapsed in the 6th minute of the match against Marseille. And anyways, the story now has been cleared to return to action. And the Bordeaux statement says that it's more fear than harm for Samuel Kalu, as our Nigerian international is fit to resume training on Wednesday, which is today. All the additional examinations carried out on Tuesday showed no cardiac abnormalities, and Kalu should be in contention for Sunday's home match against Angers. Fantastic news.
Yeah, pretty good news. But I think...
Is there a but?
Yeah, there's a but.
The fact that
these also happened to him in Egypt.
At the Nations Cup.
Yeah, in 2019, during training, dehydration, or heat stroke, and all of that.
Yeah.
So... Something has
to be wrong.
I mean, something has to be wrong.
He's not the only one training in those conditions.
But the doctors have said that it is no cardiac arrest issue.
So nothing with the heart.
That's
something
the
else.
good part.
Yeah, nothing with the, yes.
That's the good part. But then when you find yourself in such situations, why does it get to you? Should I say easily? Is that the right word?
Fair.
The funny thing was,
so something has to. I mean, It's either you have, if every other person is taking one crate of water, you probably have to take like just joking on the light note. But I think something else. Now we're going to Garoua. If he makes that Super Eagles squad to the AFCON in 2021,
so it's in the north,
then we should, yeah, it's in the north. Then we probably have to pay special attention to him and like, okay, we need to watch this guy. So I feel that I feel there should be a conscious look at what happens anytime he finds himself in such conditions. Is it that maybe do like the Dennis Beckham, you don't travel with flight. If you're going to maybe harsh conditions, you probably get to leave him out. Because you can't be always lucky, or you can't be true. I mean, always too lucky.
Once, twice.
Exactly.
We don't want a third time. That could be.
I mean, we saw what happened to Eriksen, at the Euros. Scary situation for him. But it wasn't the case for Kalu. I think he was even allowed to play on.
Yeah, that was very strange. It should never have happened.
And then he felt dizzy at some point, and then he had to come off.
So that was such a wrong move.
But all in all, we're glad to see that he's back. He's going to resume training much later today. Fantastic player for Bordeaux. We can only wish him all the best.
All the best to Samuel Kalu as he returns to action this weekend for Bordeaux in the French League On. All right, so we've got a guest on. He's going to join us now virtually. We're just going to get his reaction to the AFCON draw, perhaps a historical perspective of Nigeria's opponents. I'm talking about Kunle Sholaja, he's the editor of the Sports Village Square. Good morning, Kunle. It's great to have you on Sport this morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us. Straight up, let's get your reaction to Group D, Nigeria with 7-time champions Egypt, as well as the other sides, Sudan and Guinea-Bissau.
Well, all I could say is that the Group D is just like a recreation of Group B of the 1963 Africa Cup of Nations, the first time Nigeria featured in that competition. That time we have there were only 3 teams then, because overall we have 6 teams in the final series. So we have Group A, Group B. So in that Group B we have Nigeria, we have Egypt, and we have Sudan. All the 3 of them coming back for the first time into one group again, and then with Guinea-Bissau joining them as a debutant. So it's just like you're creating that group, and it offers Nigeria opportunity of revenging, because Nigeria, the then Red Devils were mercilessly beaten by both Egypt and Sudan. So maybe this is the payback time for the Super Eagles.
Yes, indeed. I just knew you were going to, go back down memory lane. I just knew that was what it was going to be. So let's look at from then, when these 3 teams were in the same group, till now, their progress in terms of football in those countries.
Can you come again?
Let's go back to when these 3 teams found themselves in the same group all those years ago. Let's look at the developments in terms of, especially at the AFCON, what they've been able to achieve to this very moment. Perhaps that can be a pointer to seeing who will come out of the group.
Well, I can see Nigeria coming out of the group, whether as first, second, or possibly one of the best third-place teams. Because ordinarily, it's not an easy draw having to meet Egypt, the most successful African team as far as the African Cup of Nations is concerned. And you know that the match is also coming on the eve of the 11th anniversary of the last time we met in the competition. Remember, Nigeria and Egypt met in the opening match in Angola in 2010. So, and despite Nigeria scoring first, we ended up losing that match 3-1. So this offers an opportunity to revenge that defeat and also ensure that we progress.
Indeed. Egypt, of course, well documented, the most successful African side in terms of the AFCON, 7 times. Nigeria, not too bad. They won it 3 times. So obviously, Egypt have the edge in terms of achievements. Let's talk about Sudan. Sudan of then and now, I mean, how would you go? Were the Sudanese better then than now? Now that they found themselves back in the AFCON?
Yes, of course. Nigeria is better now than the Red Devils of 1963 that were beaten 4-0 by Sudan. And you also recall that we have long avenged that when we beat them 4-0 in the Ombudsman in 2001 series for 2002 World Cup. But one thing we should also know is that Sudan also find a way of edging us out of the qualification for the 2012 Africa Cup of Nations, when we drew 2-2 with Guinea in Nigeria, and they lost to Ghana in Khartoum. Unfortunately for us, at that time, Sudan were out. But the other time, given by the referee in that our match, which enabled Guinea to equalize, just send Nigeria out and then readmitted Sudan. So this is the time to also prove to them that, okay, you edge us out through the back door the other time. We are entering through the front gate this time to achieve our run. But by and large, I could see the three teams as the major contenders for qualification from Group D. But don't also underestimate the performance, the possible performance of Guinea-Bissau.
Yes.
You may say that they are new in that competition, but they may be the determinant of the group leaders and the ranking of the teams at the end of the
group stage.
The stage. Yeah, because let's assume that all the three teams beat Guinea-Bissau. It now depends on the margin of victory against Guinea-Bissau that will determine the qualifier. And at the same time, too, Nigeria will just have to pick those matches one after the other. Incidentally, we are taking the matches, our toughest opponent we are meeting first, followed by our next strong opponent, then before the one.
All right, so of course, I got to take it one game at a time. I want to thank you, Kule, for joining us on the show. Thanks for sharing our historical perspective of Nigeria's opponents for the 2021 AFCON. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you are welcome.
All right, we need to go on a break now. We'll come back. We'll be telling you what happened in the German Super Cup between Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund. Join us again. Welcome back to Channel Sport this morning. Before we go to the German Super Cup, let's talk about Cristiano Ronaldo. Of course, the transfer season is still very much open, doesn't shut until the end of the month, and there's consistent and persistent rumors that Cristiano Ronaldo might just be returning to Real Madrid. But the Portuguese superstar has now come out to, put to rest all of those rumors. And it's not going back to Madrid. His story has been written. That's a statement coming from Cristiano Ronaldo. Of course, Ronaldo plays for Juve now, was the top scorer in Serie A last season. He's got 12 months on his contract, but has not expressed his desire to leave, at least not publicly. And early on Tuesday as well, to Carlo Ancelotti, the Real Madrid manager also denied reports that the club were interested in bringing the Portugal captain back. I am a bit surprised that Ronaldo has had to release a statement on something as normal as this. Is the transfer window, the speculation involving every player. Why do you think he's had to come out and release a statement about this one?
I mean, there's been a link, with PSG, Real Madrid, Man City, and the man has come out to say, you know what, all this is just talk, and it is a bit disrespectful to him, and that he's still a Juve player and he wants to remain a Juve player. It just speaks volume about, he's 36 years old now, and to see that all those links are still being, put up, these are big clubs, and it just speaks volume about the caliber and the kind of player he is, and the kind of man he is as a person. He's still keeping himself fit, still scoring the goals. He might not have the pace as before when he was younger, but he's still an incredible player, and it just, gets to show that with all these clubs being linked to him, kudos to the man, Ronaldo.
Is of course Ronaldo.
It could just be an instruction from his management team, or even from Juventus. You need to clear this and also. It's really not.
It's not a big deal, right?
It's not a big deal. Yeah.
All right. So Cristiano Ronaldo remains an old lady for the next 12 months.
Just tougher now that the Champions League he wants to win with Juve, with PSG.
Yeah.
It's now very tough.
Yeah, very. And that even prompted Coach Ancelotti of Real Madrid to come out and say, you know what, Ronaldo, as much as we adore and we love him, is in the past. We're looking forward to the future. So
that's it.
That puts all, you know,
all the rumors to rest. All right, so Cristiano Ronaldo, we're looking forward to watching him when the Serie A starts next season. Still football. Before we go to the papers, let's tell you about the German Super Cup once again. Bayern, they know how to get the job done against Borussia Dortmund. Nagelsmann, exactly. Lewandowski, 41 goals last season. He's already started the campaign already with 3 goals, scored the equalizer over the weekend.
I'm still angry that he's in. I'm still a bit upset that he stayed back in Germany, though.
Why? I mean,
I just want him to go elsewhere.
Go explore somewhere else.
England.
Even at his age,
I mean,
30s-ish, no?
It doesn't. I mean, if you can still sign Ronaldo and Messi,
why not
him?
Yeah, I guess he's just comfortable in where he is at the moment. As in Dortmund, in Bayern will compete for the big trophies domestically
of course.
and in Europe. So perhaps he doesn't see any reason to uproot his family at this stage of his career. All right, so that's it for the German Super Cup. We need to go to take a look at the papers now before we close the show. I've got 3 papers here: Sporting Life, Sporting Sun, and Complete Sports. Let's take a look at Sporting Life first of all. And there's so many transfer stories, and of course the stories concerning the AFCON draw as well. AFCON 2022, 2021. Salah is Eagles' first foe. So Nigeria going up against Mo Salah. That's a scary proposition. Right. Mo Salah against Trust Ekong and Leon Balogun. All of that pace against his defenders that are not the fastest. Surely you're worried. Come on, guys.
They have our strikers to contend with as well.
Yeah, of course.
I mean,
so it's both
the man
ways.
from Napoli,
Victor
Osimhen. The man from Villarreal now.
Chukwueze
as well, pacey. Yeah. I'm sure, you know, by the time the AFCON kicks off, he should be up and running. So I think, Mo Salah, credit to him, fantastic player, great finisher. He's been fantastic for Liverpool, you know, over the couple of years, you know, scoring goals for fun. But I think they will have our strikers as well to contend with, and it's going to be a real good matchup. I'm really looking forward to that match. Really going to be interested.
Just have a good team. That's all. Forget the names. Just present a good team. Do what you have to do, get your result, move on.
Spot on. Okay, still on Sporting Life, the story concerning Samuel Kalu. Heart results is out already. He's got a clean bill of health and has been cleared to return to training. We talked about on the show later on. This very interesting one. Tammy Abraham has now completed his move to AS Roma. He joins Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho was in charge of Chelsea when Tammy was coming through the ranks at Chelsea. Never got to play for Jose, but there is a kind of a reunion, it has to be said. And he replaces Edin Dzeko, right? Edin Dzeko is going to Inter Milan. What do you make of this move? He's got the number 9
Young
jersey as
blood
well.
For an old guard, no problem.
What about ability?
He can. It's something that has been noticeable, really, in Tammy. He can
scores goals.
He can score goals. So, he's good with his feet.
Let's just hope he gets himself in the right frame of mind always, and then gets to deliver. It's a new terrain. It's a new environment. So he might struggle a bit, but then again, I feel because he's still young. I mean, way younger than Dzeko, though. So over time, he should be able to pick up and
deliver the goods.
If Osimhen is getting goals for Napoli at this stage, maybe he's not their top man really.
Not yet.
But then if Osimhen can get into that ranks of Napoli, why not Tammy Abraham?
I think it's a good one for Tammy. I mean, the likes of Jadon Sancho went away, did very well, came back to England. Jude Bellingham as well, you know, and for Lukaku as well, you know, he had to go merry-go-round and come back to Chelsea. And then for Tammy, he has a lot to prove. I think Chelsea has a bit of, how can I put it now, confidence in him, because for them to put a buyback clause of £68 million, so it shows that, yes, they believe in you, they just want you to go out there, prove yourself, show that, yes, you can be the top dog for Chelsea, and then we can get you back. It doesn't matter. I mean, they sold him for 34 now, or 36, and they put a buyback clause of £68 million. It speaks volume. I think Tammy will come good. And let him go there, express himself, have fun. And under Jose, I think, yes, he will score loads of goals as well.
Score loads of goals as well. So Chelsea not trying to make the mistake that they made with Romelu Lukaku. So that buyback clause is inserted in Tammy's move to AS Roma. We're looking forward to seeing his debut on Saturday. That's on Sunday for for AS Roma in the Italian Serie A. Let's go to complete sports now. Eagles open campaign versus Egypt on January the 11th. We talked about that already. Ferdinand urges Man U to sign Saul Niguez from Atletico Madrid. There's also stories involving Harry Kane. Zabaleta hopes Kane joins Man City. Kane is in Spurs squad for the Europa Conference League match, but future still not resolved. So I think...
Well, it will be.
Which is going to be what?
He's out of Spurs.
Really?
Yeah, leave Spurs.
You think so?
The reports is that Kane is desperate to leave Spurs.
Yes, he is. Okay.
So I think it will happen.
Okay.
And he's even accusing Daniel Levy now of broken promises.
No, of course, Daniel Levy, we all know him.
We know his antecedents.
We know his tactics.
We know his
really. So he would want to push you up onto the last minute.
Get you to commit.
Exactly. But I think Kane will leave. Before the transfer, I think it's about 13 days now. Yeah. Kane would leave.
Wow. I think you're one of the first analysts, pundits, that has actually come out, has come out to go out on a limb and say Kane is not going to play for Spurs this season. All right.
Let Man City put their money where their mouth is.
They're asking for too much, though, but...
If they could buy Grealish for 100 million quid, I think, it's safe to say that Harry Kane, with all the goals, is going to... I mean...
Guarantees you goals.
Exactly. So, I don't think they necessarily needed Grealish.
Yeah, but...
They create enough chances already, but they need goals in Harry Kane. So we'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes. Also, the ball is in the court of Manchester City now. Pay up and get your man. Thank you guys for coming on the show. Appreciate it. Rotimi.
Thank you, Tayo.
Thank you for having me, Tayo.
All right. Thank you guys for watching as well. Enjoy the rest of your day. I am Tayo. Salam.